We know there are a lot of people around the world that continue to use Facebook, even if there are a lot of things they don't like about the platform, including hate speech. But a number of advertisers are starting to boycott Facebook, basically saying enough is enough. Here's a look at some of those high-profile advertisers who have started to speak out about this, and we wanted to get some perspective on this developing story from John York, veteran advertising executive and the CEO of Rain43, who often joins us here on Fridays. I mean, John, what have you made of this? You know, you've been covering the rise of Facebook for so many years. Have we ever seen such well-known brands speaking out about what they don't like about Facebook and then pulling their money off the platform?
Yeah, well, we haven't. I would say that this is what's called maybe not for Facebook, a perfect storm, but a perfect storm brewing in this arena or this battlefield. I think what you really have is, you have these advertisers that have stepped forward and said, okay, enough is enough. And it's led by the Anti-Defamation League and the NAACP and a couple other groups that have actually decided to really hit Facebook where I think people think it hurts the most, which is financially. I would say the perfect storm of Facebook is, remember with the Cambridge Analytics issues that we had people who had delete Facebook a couple of years ago. There was that movement. So you had people who in the past wanted to delete their Facebook account. You have employees who have quit over Facebook policies. You've had sort of that side of it. But this is the first time now we're seeing the brands that advertise, and Facebook is an advertising platform, no matter how much they want to say it's technology. 99% of their business is advertising. They've bought over $23 billion worth of businesses over the last few years. So they own Instagram, they own Friendly, and others, WhatsApp. Those platforms also, they generate the revenue through advertising. So for all the Facebook platforms, this is the first time we've really seen an attack from the revenue side of things. But like I said, they're fighting battles on every front right now, and it's a very interesting time for Facebook.
And look, I know you're not a stock market analyst, John. This stock has underperformed some of the highest flying tech names this year, and yet this company is still expected to generate something like $75 billion in advertising this year. That'd be like basically triple in 5 or so years. I even saw an analyst this week upgrade Facebook shares because they feel like it's just inevitable that people have to use their digital advertising dollars on a platform like Facebook. So I'm really curious personally, how many brands does it take, and maybe investors as well, to really change the behavior of Facebook? Because I feel like we've been having this conversation for so many years at this point.
Yeah, so to change the behavior of Facebook, I think it is changing. To give Facebook some credit, they're trying to make sure that it doesn't look like they're just kowtowing to your revenue pressure. They want to make sure that they're doing things the right way. But remember, it was only a month ago that President Trump decided to attack the social media platforms and put in new laws that remove the copyright shield or infringement shields from social media. So they're being pressured through government and lawmakers, specifically through President Trump. And then you have the revenue side of things. If it starts to hit, look, July, I don't want to be too cynical in this, but July is the easiest month to boycott. It's the lowest revenue month. There's no back to school yet. There's no high revenue streams coming through. It's not Christmas. It's not Black Friday. If this continues beyond July, so if companies like Verizon decide to continue beyond July, and now you get into their top 10, top 20 advertisers that'll pull out, but it's not going to hit Facebook this year. It's an election year, and the bulk of ads on Facebook will come from political campaigns. So post-November, I think if this continues past November, then you're going to see the pressure. You're going to see the situation where Facebook has to make amends. They've already removed 900 hate groups. So they have done some work, and they've worked with the government on the new laws. So
before we run out of time, I want to use an example, because you've got the U.S. president who sometimes shares content that different platforms are taking different stands on, manipulated content. Let's take one example that you brought to us on this Friday on how Facebook versus Twitter have handled a situation of a manipulated video of 2 toddlers.
Yeah, so basically the two toddlers, if you've seen this meme where they've run and hugged each other, Twitter was quick to remove Donald Trump's tweet about it, manipulating the video where it said this is a racist white baby chasing a black baby specifically, and it took the copyright infringement angle to have it pulled. It was misleading because that's not the intent of what the video was. And so Twitter was quick to remove it. Facebook did eventually remove this. They removed, there was a Donald Trump re-election campaign that had multiple uses of an inverted triangle, which is considered a symbol of white supremacists. They have been slow to move. Facebook's tried to stay on the side of as much of free speech as they can. That's their defense of this. Whereas it looks like more and more Twitter, which is the president's favorite platform, is going to be the bane of his existence if they continue to call him out on this.
Interesting. So we're pretty much out of time, John, but just to your point earlier, this would be the time when brands can take a stand and they actually don't have to be judged internally on the return on investment of their advertisements. But you're saying as we get later into the year, if they stay committed to this, that's the kind of thing that you're going to have to watch in terms of the future of these businesses like Facebook.
Absolutely. I think that it's a long play, and I hope that they continue the pressure. I hope that they continue to remove the hate groups off of Facebook. I think it's going to be a very interesting election year on what can or cannot be posted, not only by individuals but by campaigns and the president himself. So if brands stay consistent, I think you're going to see a lot of pressure from Facebook to fix this problem. It'll be up to them and the future success.
All right, John, thanks as always. Interesting insight. John York of Rain 43.